Hello everyone and welcome back to Wiki Reading. Today I will be reading about the o-the-Wisp. A o-the-Wisp is a phantom light that hovers in the wilderness, luring travelers away from the beaten path. Most of these lights haunt the moors and bogs of England, but they have been reported all over the world under various names. O-the-Wisps are very simple apparitions. They appear as balls of light, sometimes so bright that they hurt your eyes and other times so dim that you have to squint to see them. They usually have a bluish gleam to them, although red has been reported. In some rare sightings, a dark figure has been seen carrying the light, as if it was a torch or a lantern. Despite carrying a light, the figure is always too dark to be described in detail. A light floating in the darkness might seem innocent, even friendly, but don't be deceived. These attractive lights are almost always malevolent. They lead travelers onto dangerous land, perhaps a deep hole in a bog, or a kingdom ruled by vicious fairies. The backstory of o-the-Wisps can shed some light on their cruel nature. The lights are carried by spirits who are shut out of both heaven and hell. The classic o-the-Wisp is carried by a blacksmith named Will. Will was such a troublemaker that when he died and went to heaven, he was sent back by St. Peter, who told him to reform during his second life. Unfortunately, Will's second life was even more monstrous than his first, so St. Peter cursed him to roam the earth forever. The devil, impressed by Will's evil doing, gave him a coal to warm himself on the cold earth nights. Instead, Will decided to use the coal to make a torch and lure innocent travelers into danger. The jack-o'-lantern is carried by a drunkard named Jack. Jack sold his soul to the devil so that the devil would pay his pub tab. When the devil returned from the pub to collect Jack's soul, the man tricked him into climbing a tree, then drew a cross under the tree, trapping the furious devil in its branches. Later, when Jack died and was rejected at heaven's gates, he had to beg the devil for a place in hell. The devil was delighted at his chance to get revenge. He cursed Jack to wander the earth, with only a small frame for light. Jack put his flame in a carved turnip and used it as a lantern. In other places, goblins, pixies, witches, unbaptized children, and even the devil are blamed for carrying these dangerous lights. Aside from their ability to dazzle and tantalize travelers, o-the-Wisps are also powerful omens. They appear to be able to predict the future, appearing to people before their deaths or flocking to the site of a tragedy before it takes place. They might also reveal the place where a thief or a fairy has buried golden treasure. In Britain and Ireland alone, there are dozens of variations of the o-the-Wisp. The most famous are the jack-o'-lantern, peg-a-lantern, Joan the Wad, Jenny with the Lantern, Hobbity's Lantern, Hinky Punk, and Spunkies. They are for the most part believed to be carried by souls barred from heaven and hell or by devious fairy folk. In the Netherlands, the Eerblos, Leko, and Leigtemand are said to be the souls of unbaptized children who try to lead travelers to water where they can be baptized. They might also be lights guarding buried treasure, which can only be found using a dead man's hand or after eating seeds from a magical fern. In Asia, the Alaya and the Chirbati are used by dead souls to mark the place where they died. In Australia, Min lights follow travelers once they are spotted. If the traveler turns and tries to follow the light, however, they will never be seen again. In South America, the Luz Mala and La Candeleja are evil spirits who carry ghost lights after death. In the United States, ghost hunters prize any photo which has captured an orb, a ball of colored light which is believed to reveal the presence of a dead soul in the room. In the swampland of Louisiana, a phantom light called Fifolet represents dark souls who have been sent back from heaven to do penance on earth. O-the-Wisps appear in Europe's written record around the 13th century, but their legend was well known all across the world long before pen was put to paper. The oral traditions of Cornish, Nordic, and Aborigine people warn against the dangers of these phantom lights. The o-the-Wisp has been written into some of history's most influential novels. In the 16th century, Shakespeare mentioned the lights by their Latin name, Ignis Fatuus in his play King Henry IV. In the 17th century, they were used by John Milton in Paradise Lost. In the 19th century, the immortal lights made yet another appearance in Bram Stoker's Dracula. This time they were not merely referenced, they played an important role in foretelling the misfortune in which the main character would find in Dracula's castle. Finally, in the 20th and 21st centuries, the lights assaulted characters in J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings trilogy and J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter franchise. Although they may not be trapped in lanterns, held by the devil, or hover over sunken fairy gold, o-the-Wisps are a very real phenomenon. These mysterious lights do exist, and for a long time they could only be explained through superstition. Today, science has a few explanations which don't involve ghosts, devils, witches, or fairies for the lights. Some scientists believe that the light is produced by a type of bioluminescent fungus or algae that grows in marshy areas. Just like fireflies or anglerfish, these plants could undergo a unique chemical process to produce light. Still, more scientists claim that a mixture of gases is responsible for the lights. In marshes, plant material often sinks underwater before it can decompose. In the water, the material undergoes an unusual type of decomposition, which releases methane, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and phosphenes into the air. Methane is a highly flammable gas, and phosphenes have been known to spontaneously combust when they come into contact with air. Combine these two chemicals, and you could easily produce a burning ball of light hovering above a marsh.